Morning. This is Arnie Waters here at Waters Capital in Boston, Massachusetts. Hope you're having a great day. Two comments this morning. One is about China. A question for you to ponder is China like the United States economically, or is China like Japan economically? You will recall that Japan was widely hailed from a period throughout most of the 80s and late 70s as an economic miracle, et cetera, blah, 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 new wave, blah, blah, blah. And then what happened is reality sank into the Japanese economy. They had ridiculously overbuilt, they were highly overleveraged, consumers were given the short end of the stick. In other words, the Japanese economy fell apart, which is where it remains to this day. They actually had deflation. Now, in the Chinese case, which is built up on the same kind of shaky credit, ghost city kind of model, an additional factor is the savage repression of the totalitarian communist government. So a question for you to keep in mind as we begin to see more frequent reports smuggled out of China about what is going on and the government trying to put their spin on things. We wonder what is really going on, but we're also asking ourselves the question of, will the Chinese be able to manage themselves from an investment-driven economy into where GDP exceeds investment with the added problem of having a repressive regime? We have some doubts about that. So we encourage you to keep in mind that the Chinese situation may get economically much more complicated. I also ask you to remember that we Americans have a habit of supporting totalitarian regimes because they're easier for us to understand. And what happens then is we end up on the wrong side of history. Now, I'm not saying we're on the wrong side of history in terms of how we treat ourselves. I'm saying we're not on the wrong side of history in terms of supporting movements that encourage personal freedom around the world. That's an awful clean place for the United States to be. Now, secondly, I'm always talking about gold demand. We're always factoring in central bank buying, the seasons in India and China. What happens if this happens? What happens if that happens? Now, Standard Chartered, a legendary and successful financial institution, has just opined that the growth in gold supply is only likely to total 1.6% over the next 5 years. So what that means is even if demand remains flat-ish, then the supply is going to be unable to meet the demand. So even if demand grows slightly, Standard Chartered comes to the conclusion that gold is going to be at 5,000 an ounce by 2016 or 2017. Now, part of the reason we're sharing this with you is that we spend so much time talking about demand that we are asking you to focus on supply. So when you think about supply, think about gold going up from 15 and change to 5,000. And remember how ridiculous it was when gold was 300 and we told you it was going to be 750. So the Standard Chartered analysis is another sign of how deep the financial community's thoughts are about the value of investing in gold. So this is Arnie Waters. Aim for the ice flows, not the open water. Keep swinging.